Welcome back, guys. We are talking about Iron Man Infinity War in another champion spotlight. So I got a chance to get my hands on him by luck. It's a 3-star luck, but let's have a look at his champion spotlight. And you can see that he's got a pretty high PI right out of the gate. I mean, compared to Spider-Man Stark Enhanced, he's at 3857, and Iron Man is eking him out just by a little at 3882. And he currently tops my max ranked 3-star champions as well, at least in the tech area. So, now there's plenty to love about this guy, and not only is he a joy to play, he's got a great utility set as well as some pretty decent damage. So, this is a long list of stuff, so let's have a look. First, let's talk about his specials before we move on to his normal attacks, because that's where you have to really pay attention. So, one, I'm actually going to start with the SP3. One, he gets armor break for 3 seconds, 100% chance to ignite and electrify the target, placing an instant plasma debuff. More on that later. If you already have a plasma debuff placed, for each stack you decrease your chances by 20% to place another. Now, this is pretty awesome as it's an automatic plasma. However, this works on Iceman as well. It's a little weird, but because it's instantly made and Iceman's not plasma immune, it works. Okay, his SP2 has a 40% chance to armor break on the first 2 hits and 100% chance to ignite for 5 seconds. Now, if Incinerate immune, it'll armor break instead for 20 seconds. Now, for each armor break already on the opponent, there's a 34% chance to stun for 2.2 seconds, so it's really important to build those armor breaks whenever you can. Now, the SP1, the first hit is unblockable and heal blocks for 16 seconds if the target is currently regenning. Now, every projectile acts as a repulsor. This is important. We'll discuss that later. 100% chance to shock for 12 seconds, and you can increase that time based on your opponent's power meter. So the more power they have, the longer you can extend that shock, up to 50%. Okay, so now for the normal attacks. The first medium hit, the first heavy hit, and the second and fourth light attacks employ a point-blank repulsor blast. Now, these are basically short-range projectiles that can't be evaded. They can be dexed, meaning dexterity, but not evaded. So auto-evade champs, we got ourselves a built-in counter. So they can't be parried either, so Iron Man Infinity War can never be parried on an incoming dash, unless you have Proxima, who can reduce ability accuracy on block. Now this comes in very handy against champions like Medusa, who auto-block and parries you. As long as you're using any of the repulsor attacks, you'll be safe. Also, this is great for Mordo. He gets no love from Iron Man Infinity War at all because the hits can't be evaded. So, sorry, Astral Evade. However, Nightcrawler seems to be an exception here, and I'm not sure why. Maybe a passive evade thing? I don't know, gotta look into it. Now, repulsor hits are energy damage, so be aware of going up against people like Ultrons or Bishops or Captain Marvel and the like. Now, if you've set a shock or plasma debuff, these hits do not generate power for your opponent. And furthermore, they actually drain up to 2.5% power while those debuffs are active, so you're going to want to use those repulsor attacks as much as possible. Now, these repulsor attacks also refresh the incinerate and plasma debuffs every time you land a successful attack. Now, this is very important for rotation and keeping the debuffs active. I found the best way to keep these debuffs active is to use the combo medium, light, 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 light. So that's 1 medium and 4 lights. This way you're getting 3 repulsor hits and maximizing the longevity of the debuff. So how do you get the plasma debuff? Well, you gotta mix together the shock damage and the incinerate damage together, and then you have to combine it with the repulsor attack. So this can be a little bit tricky because the incinerate damage is only 5 seconds, so you have to make sure that you've got your power ready. And with this case, I like to have a power gain team so I can get a lot of power quickly and I can act on it. Now, when Iron Man gets down to 15% health, if he's awakened, he will stack up his armor, he's gonna stack up power gain, and he becomes an absolute beast. He just begins to throw down an arsenal of attacks over and over. You can be very, very, very active. And keep in mind that if he has 4 armor ups or more, he gets auto block. And below 15%, he doesn't consume any of the armors in order for that auto block. So he becomes quite the beast to take down once he gets low. I mean, just look at how he goes savage on Iceman with this low health, and he's just continuing to build up that power. He's like a Dr. Strange that also gets power gained from attacks. Now with his molecular armor up, he gets cold snap and bleed immune as long as they're up. But if they're not up, he is susceptible. But he is a great counter to Iceman. He does not take any damage at all. So guys, take a look at this Iron Man Infinity War. I think he's well worth the grind, and he's well worth your featured Grandmaster crystals. He's an absolute beast. So if you liked this video, and I hope that you did, go ahead and click subscribe, click like, leave a comment, share it with your friends, share it with your mama. All that stuff helps me out. And remember, stay dorky, and I'll catch y'all on the flip.